I'd like to tell everybody to dream big and to believe, because dreams do come true. And today, I'm very humbled that one of my dreams has come true.
Watson takes a snap, rolls right, looks into the end zone. Hunter up the caught it! Touchdown! 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 With a second left.
It's intercepted, and the Tigers are going the other way. A.J. Terrell with a pick six. Lawrence took a peek downfield, had a lot of room, and breaks a tackle, and is still running. Lawrence in a foot race. Will they catch him? Touchdown, Tigers!
Booker. Shot. Chase Hunter tries to shoot. He's back. And it goes! Chase Hunter! And one! Pitch. And this one hammered high, deep to right, way back, and out of here! A grand slam! Seth Beer!
He's in the lineup, but he has been a game changer. This one's out to center field. It is deep. It is
Welcome back to the Walk On, where we talk all things Clemson sports while also examining the landscape of college and sometimes professional sports. And JT, Conference Championship Week, baby.
Let's do it, baby.
But before we get to Conference Championship Week, Clemson basketball is on the freaking map.
Yep.
Just beat Kentucky. We hit on that in the review.
Yep.
They got Miami this Saturday. And honestly, this could be a letdown spot for Brad Brownell. The Miami Hurricanes are sitting at 3-5 right now, but they have an experienced head coach. They got some experienced guys on their roster. It'll be interesting how Clemson treats that game. But Miami's they're kind of in a down spin right now. I mean, they just lost to Charleston Southern, and they got but however they bounced back and got a close loss against an Arkansas team that's coached by John Calipari now. But Miami's on a 5-game losing streak. It's rough. Rough times for Jim Larinaga and company right now. But I think Clemson takes care of business here. Mm-hmm. You know, Miami's always been known for running the floor, you know, trying to get out fast, and Clemson really plays well against that. But this year, Miami, they got a transfer center who actually used to play at Clemson. His name's Lane Kidd, came in with P.J. Hall. Only spent 1 year here at Clemson. But he can't really run the floor. He's a big guy, slow. He likes to play the slow post-up game and just get boards in the paint. But they had to bring him in because they lost their center that they've had for a couple years. But they've kind of struggled to gel so far this season. Mm-hmm. So it seems like an easy win for Clemson. You know, I've predicted Clemson to lose 3 games this year that they have not lost, and they won them all. So this is the one I'm predicting Clemson to win. And they might just turn around and continue to make me wrong if they lose on the road, but playing at Miami is always tough. Yeah. But we'll see how Brad Brownell does, but I have faith in him. Don't you think, JT?
I think we'll be all right. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, man, this is a road game. This is in Miami. Who the heck is going to this game, dude? If you're a Miami fan.
Miami fans don't even go to football games.
You're not going. That's what I'm saying. You're in the city. You're doing your own thing, right? It's Christmas time almost. Ain't nobody going to this game, dude. I got Clemson big in this one.
Yeah, I think Clemson should win.
I don't know if I have them big, but I got Clemson winning.
Yeah, Miami, they play some close games. I mean, and their losses, their biggest loss in this 5-game losing streak is only by 11 points.
Yeah.
They'll compete with us. They got a really good guard, Nigel Pack. He's been there for a long time, it feels like. It's got to be his last year there. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how this game goes. But moving on, I want to go Conference Championship Week. It's football. I mean, we got playoff implications on the line.
Yep.
Kind of. Really just seeding implications, really.
Right.
You know, but the difference between a home game and a road game means a whole lot in football. And on my thing, I had to start with Clemson, but I'm going to change that. We're going to start with the MAC, work our way up.
Let's do it.
We got Ohio versus Miami of Ohio.
Yep.
A little Ohio matchup in the MAC. This game is actually not played, or this game is played on a neutral site. One of the only Group of 5 conferences to play their game on a neutral site.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. I think they play in Lions Stadium. I think they play
Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where they play at. But this game is not on a Wednesday night for some reason.
Dude.
Why is this not on a Wednesday night?
How dare they, bro?
The MACtion Conference Championship game should definitely be on a weekday night and not on a Saturday. It feels like a crime to me. These teams are going to be thrown off with playing on a Saturday, I feel like. But Miami's on a 7-game win streak. Miami of Ohio, that is. On a 7-game win streak, which includes a 30-10 win over this Ohio team. And however, Ohio has not lost since either after that game. But this could be a weird contest here. Miami of Ohio's quarterback is the little brother of Blaine Gabbert, the former NFL quarterback. I don't think he's on a roster anymore. But Brett Gabbert is their starting quarterback. He's been there for a long time. This is his 6th season as a quarterback at Miami of Ohio, believe it or not. But he's put on a decent year, and we'll see what he can do in the championship game, see if he can finish out his time there strong. What you think about this game, JT?
I mean, like you said, both these teams on hot win streaks. Both these teams know how to win and know how to win big. And so this game really comes down to who's going to execute, especially in that fourth quarter when it's time to win. If you want my prediction, I can give that now, or if you want to keep talking, we can do that too. But in my opinion, both teams will look solid. Who's favored right now? I think Miami of Ohio is favored currently. They beat them earlier in the season. I think it's very hard to beat a team twice in one season. However,
yes, it is.
I believe in Miami of Ohio. I bet them on them last week to beat Bowling Green. They got the job done. Give me Miami of Ohio to beat Ohio in the MAC championship.
Okay, I don't mind that prediction. In this first game, Ohio really like to run the football, and their starting quarterback Parker Navarro, he's very involved in the run game. He almost has 1,000 yards on the season. But during this first contest against Miami of Ohio, they could not get him going in the run game. He averaged 3.5 yards a carry. It was just they just couldn't get anything going really with him. They got Ricky Hunt Jr. in the backfield beside him, and during this past contest they had to bring in their backup, who's a better thrower, just trying to get stuff going on offense. So seeing Miami of Ohio's domination in this game, they let Ohio score 6 points through three quarters before some garbage time touchdowns to make the score look better. It's hard to see Miami of Ohio lose this game, especially with how experienced Blaine Gabbert is. So, yeah, I like that pick. You rocking with Miami of Ohio. This is an Ohio matchup. Weird things happen on Conference Championship Week, but I think I'm going to stick with Miami of Ohio here. I'm not going to get too crazy yet. Just the first prediction.
Yep.
But just on the backside of I don't see how Miami of Ohio's defense struggles after coming in high after shutting this Ohio offense down the last time they played. But moving on, got a little Sun Belt championship.
Some Fun Belt. Come on.
Fun Belt.
Yep.
A lot of people thought App State was going to be in this game. Mm-hmm. They have since fired their coach, and they were not in this game.
Hard year for App State, the hurricane, everything, man.
Oh, a rough year,
it's brutal. Had a game canceled, everything.
Yeah, but Sean Clark will no longer be the head coach of App State. Clemson kind of destroyed them. So, a lot of people thought that Clemson-App State game was going to be close. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But in this game, we got Marshall, got the Thunder and Herd versus the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns.
Come on.
Marshall's on a 6-game win streak, and Louisiana was rolling until they dropped a weird game to South Alabama a couple weeks ago. But they have since bounced back and are on a 2-game win streak. Mm-hmm. But what you think about this one, JT?
Yeah, I'm been looking both ways a little bit. This would be one of the best teams Louisiana has faced all season. As I'm looking down at their schedule, they faced Tulane in September. They lost. They beat Wake Forest.
I was about to say this Louisiana team does have a win over Wake Forest.
They have a win over Wake Forest, which is as good as you make it. Wake Forest they're okay. But I'm looking at Marshall. Marshall's been competing with some better teams. They have a little bit of a stronger schedule, in my opinion, beating Old Dominion the way they did. Just competing at a high level with high level teams. They lost. They gave Ohio State a little bit of a run in September. Nobody really remembers it because the score is 49-14, but they gave them a little bit of a run. I think it was close for a good majority of that game. So, I don't know. This could be definitely a toss up, in my opinion. I like both teams. However, I'm going to stick with Marshall to come up with an upset. I think I have them beating Louisiana in this game. The spread is 5.5. I definitely have Marshall covering. I don't know if I'd bet on them to win, but I definitely have Marshall winning this game against Louisiana upset.
Yeah, Marshall, their season so far has kind of been, it's kind of been an underdog run. They've won a lot of close games, a lot of one-score games. And I don't know, they won a tough one against James Madison last week by 2. They beat Old Dominion by 7. Played a close one with Coastal Carolina. Close one with UL Monroe, who's not a very good team. And lost by 1 to Georgia Southern. I mean, this game's going to be close. This is going to be a fun one to watch for sure, in my opinion. I don't think, no matter what way it goes, a lot of people might not watch this game because they don't care about the Fun Belt. But with no football on, this is going to be I think this will be an interesting one to see what happens here. But I don't know, man. Louisiana's kind of been covering the spread easily in every game they played. That South Alabama loss is questionable. Yeah, that's the one thing that's really telling me away here. But beating Wake Forest on the road as a Group of 5 school, beating a Power 4 school as a Group of 5 school is hard to do no matter what happens. Just a talent gap is hard. And Louisiana played a tough one with Tulane early in the season. I just think I'm going with Louisiana here, JT, to be honest with you. I think we're going to mix it up early here. But
that's fine with me.
I got Louisiana here, honestly. I think Marshall's underdog run ends here. I believe Louisiana's favored in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look just to confirm that. Yeah, Louisiana. Yeah, 5.5. So, like Louisiana here, I think they're going to could see them run it up here against the Thunder and Herd, coming off a hard-fought double overtime win off of James Madison.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm going Louisiana, Raging Cajuns all the way. Moving on, you got the CUSA.
Coosa.
Got Western Kentucky playing Jacksonville State. It's only Jacksonville State's second year in the FBS.
Yep.
It's impressive being in the conference championship game.
It is.
Second year. Mm-hmm. And what's funny about this game is these two teams strapped it up and played just this past weekend.
Yep.
So it's hard. I believe Western Kentucky came out on top in that contest.
It was close, yep.
It
19-17.
It was a close game, and I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to throw you some facts here.
Do it.
Jacksonville State's quarterback actually was injured during the game.
Wow.
And his status is up in the air for this contest. Mm-hmm. But getting the backup in there, already playing this team, maybe it helps out a little bit. But seeing that Western Kentucky only won by 2 points, even with the backup quarterback in the game, weird to me. But it'll be interesting to see how this one goes with these two teams just seeing each other.
Mm-hmm. I'm very high on Western Kentucky. I love Western Kentucky. Is CJ Finley still quarterbacking that team?
No.
Okay. He was earlier in the season. He was talking trash against Alabama, which is hilarious. But TJ Finley's funny. But I do like Western Kentucky. I love how they move the ball offensively. Jacksonville State kind of shut them down this last weekend, only giving up 19 points. But it wasn't enough. They ended up losing Jacksonville State this game. And I think that because these teams just played, they just were on the turf together this last weekend. I think Jacksonville State gets the win in this one. I have them beating Western Kentucky.
Really? After saying that you're so high on Western Kentucky, you're going to flop it here and go Jacksonville State.
I'm going Jacksonville State.
Jacksonville State, they rattled after a rough start to the season. They rattled off, eight straight wins before dropping that game to Western Kentucky. That's impressive to do, which was their first loss in the Coosa. But I don't know, man. Jacksonville State playing with the backup quarterback. I don't know how much faith I have in it. But Western Kentucky, they played a close one with Boston College earlier in the year. They had two really tough and bad losses right before this Jacksonville State win against Louisiana and Liberty. But I don't know. I think those losses late, and you see that turnaround, I think that kind of battle test them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to rock with Western Kentucky in this one.
Interesting.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't trust the backup quarterback.
Interesting.
I hate depending on backup quarterbacks, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I don't know if it's smart to bet with a backup quarterback here, especially after they just saw him a couple of days ago.
You might be crawling your way back in this competition, dude.
Maybe. That's 2 games we split off here. I think we're going to have some more splits going forward. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of...
All right.
I'm going a little crazy this week.
I'm cool with it.
So I'm either going to put myself out of the race or I'm going to be right back in it.
We'll see.
But moving on. Got that game is at Jacksonville State, by the way. Mm-hmm. So it's a home game for the better Gamecocks, maybe.
Gamecock U.
Yeah. Moving on, got the American. Tulane playing Army. It's going to be at Army because of Tulane's loss last week to Memphis. Mm-hmm. just an unfortunate loss for Tulane. They kind of put themselves out of the playoff race with that loss. Both of us were high on Tulane going into that game. Just a weird time to see them really just, kind of fall apart. I was watching this game. I actually bet on Tulane, I was hurting.
Tough.
Did they play on Thursday night?
I think it was Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, they played on Thursday night. It was just, the end score has Tulane only losing by 10, but that game was
a blowout.
The game was done in the first quarter. Memphis just kind of ran up on them early. So, hurts for Tulane. They're no longer ranked, but this Army team has climbed their way back into the rankings after getting obliterated by Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's a at-large chance or that last 5 spot for Army. I don't think so, but you never know.
Doubt it. Never know. We doubt it.
You never know. This is Army's second to last game because even after this game, they still have to play Navy next week. So this game is in Army. Mm-hmm. It's going to be cold. It's going to favor the way Army plays.
Yep.
Army's defense is very good. Tulane's offense has been good. They were not very good against Memphis. Mm-hmm. But, JT, what do you think here?
I think Tulane is a powerful team. I think Army is a run-heavy team. And when you're playing in the cold, running is important. Mm-hmm. I like the way Tulane fights. I like the way they play. I think they're going to come back hungry after getting obliterated by Memphis. I've got Tulane shredding Army.
Shredding? No, I don't know about that.
I think they win by 14.
Okay.
Call shredding if you want to, but...
What's the spread here? Do you know
5.
the spread? 5? On the dot?
On Fliff, it's 5, yeah.
Okay. So I have no clue where to go with this game. I'm going to be honest with you. Here's my thing with this game. Like I said, it's going to be cold. Army's defense has been good, all year. They're still one of the best defenses in the country, even after giving up 49 to Notre Dame. And it's good. I like that I saw them bounce back and win against UTSA last week because when Navy got blown out by Notre Dame, their season kind of fell apart, and they had some really bad weeks afterwards. But here's my thing with Tulane. Here's my thinking, right? There's been some Power 4 jobs come open, right, JT?
Yep.
Tulane's coach has been a very successful coach. This is his first year at Tulane, I believe. Maybe he's looking at these other jobs. Maybe he's interviewing. Maybe he's not, really focused on this game. Obviously he would like to win it, but maybe he's already got another job lined up for John Summerall. He won some conference championships with Tulsa. So I don't know, man. Maybe he's not focused. Tulane's quarterback also, maybe he's looking at the portal. Maybe he doesn't want to stay at Tulane. He's had a really good year.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know, man. I don't know where to go with this one. I think I'm going to go, I don't know.
Come on, dude. I know what you want to pick. Just pick it, dude.
No, I don't want to. I'm going to go Tulane. It's hard to pick a triple option offense.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. I'm confident Tulane. Tulane's been here before. Army's tired.
Yeah,
they've got to play next week. I'm taking Tulane in this one.
Yeah, maybe Army's looking ahead to Navy.
I won't say that, but maybe.
I don't know. I think the Navy game matters more than this American Championship, to be honest with you.
In terms of playoffs, probably, yeah. Because playoffs are out either way.
Yeah, I don't think Army's gonna be in the playoff no matter what happens here. To be honest with you, with UNLV and Boise being ranked ahead of them, and that's where we're going next. Mount West Conference, the last conference that's played on the home field. Mm-hmm. This game is going to be on the blue field at Boise, Idaho.
Yep.
Where all the potatoes grow. Playoffs are on the line. This one actually does have playoff implications. Mm-hmm. This game matters a lot for Clemson if Clemson wins.
Yeah.
Because this game will solidify if Clemson gets a bye or not. We will know Friday night, because this game's played on Friday night, if Clemson's going to get that bye, if Clemson would end up winning. This game was also played earlier in the year, a little bit earlier in the season. It's not really talked about a lot. And UNLV was riding high coming into this game that they played. This was when GT was still having his stellar Heisman season that he's having, but this was when it was at its peak. Mm-hmm. And UNLV kind of shut him down. This was, I believe, GT averaged under 4 yards a carry this game, which was his lowest all season. Yeah, he averaged 3.9 yards a carry. Still got 130 yards and a touchdown because he's going to get his no matter what happens. But UNLV sold out to stop the run. But then after this game, this UNLV team put their head down and went to work, and nobody's talked about them since. So this is gonna be interesting to see how this goes. And I think the Heisman's wrapped up, but do you think JT can make one more statement and maybe try to push him over Travis Hunter playing this week?
He might. Now, UNLV is definitely aware of JT, and they're going to do whatever they can to make them throw it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, talking about playoffs for Clemson's hopes, I would say Iowa State, Arizona State might be a bigger game, but this one definitely does affect Clemson in that regard if Boise State were to lose this one. However, I don't think that's the case. It's going to be at Boise. Boise has already beat them before.
On the road as well.
And it was a close game. So, these programs respect each other. I think these programs will give it their best foot. I'm going to take Boise State to beat UNLV in this one. I think they cover, too. I think they're a 4-point favorite. Boise State covering. 4 points, really. That feels like a lot for this game.
Yeah. This was kind of the first game that Boise's quarterback, Max Madsen, kind of showed everybody. He's like, hey, I'm good, too.
Yeah.
Like, we don't just need JT to produce to win, but UNLV, they're going to sell out for the run in this game. That's going to, if they lose, it would not be because of Ashton JT scoring 80-yard touchdowns. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. This UNLV team, it's like I said, they put their head down, they went to work, and nobody's talked about them. While Boise, they've kind of been riding high, playing a little bit of close games every here and then.
Yep.
Now and everywhere. It's hard for me to go here. I'm going UNLV.
Dang, son.
I'm going UNLV, baby. I like the quarterback. He's a dynamic player. That Hodge, I don't know his last name. Hodge something.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look. He's a great quarterback. Yeah, Hodge Malik Williams. He can throw it. He can run it. He protects the football. He didn't start until, week 4, and he's got 800 rushing yards on the season and 9 touchdowns.
It's crazy. 17
touchdown passes, only 4 interceptions. He protects the football. And a lot of people thought this team was done after Matthew Sluka announced that he was going to redshirt and not play the rest of the season because he was playing good football.
Yeah.
And he thinks that he deserves a Power 4 conference shot. But Ricky White, their receiver, he's going to make some plays. Their defense is going to lock up. Boise's not going to score more than 24, leading to a UNLV victory. And you will see them as the 12th seed in the playoff. Kind of hit on in the review.
Yep.
What I was going to pick there. But moving on.
How many games is that we picked opposite? 3?
Already?
I think there's 3 already. We haven't even gotten to the Power 4 yet.
2, 3. Yep. I don't know if we're going to see much difference in the Power 4.
We might be surprised.
There'll be one game. For sure. I know one game we're going to pick different. But
cool.
Got the Big 12.
Yep.
Arizona State, Iowa State. You have hated Iowa State.
I've hated them
every week up to this point. You think they've.
I respect them a lot more after they beat Kansas State. In no way, in no world, I had Iowa State beating Kansas State, and they did it. So that is a huge step for me. I do respect Iowa State. I have them ranked above Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina.
Whoa.
Just based on that win alone. They've got wins, and so I do appreciate a team with wins and a team that does not have bad losses. Let's just say that. So I do appreciate Iowa State. Arizona State, however, is just so hot. They have
so
won
hot.
and won and won. This team's hot. Okay, and so
I think they just played their best game of the season too.
They probably did. They probably did. And so they played a lot of good games all season. This team is pretty electric when it comes to playing some football, some good old college football. And so in their first time in the Big 12, Arizona State really is building up a program for a lot of success in the future. Iowa State, they've been here, I think, before. I don't know how long it's been, but when it comes to the end of it, Arizona State sits at a 2.5-point favorite. I'm going to have to actually take Arizona State in this one. I have them beating Iowa State in the Big 12 championship, then punching their ticket into the college football playoff.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I'm going Arizona State here. They're just Iowa State's offense is what kind of lacks for me. I thought Kansas State was going to run it up on them. Really, I didn't think they were going to be able to score with them, but they kind of showcased that ability to score with them and score more than them. But Rocco Beck, the Iowa State quarterback, he's a good young quarterback. He's going to be good in the future. Not good enough right now, though, in my opinion. But it's like we were saying, Arizona State is hot. They are hot. They have the best running back in the Big 12, no doubt. Probably a top 5 running back in the country. And Cam Scatterbo almost got 1,400 yards and 17 tutties.
Oh, yeah.
Got a freshman quarterback who's playing better football than Rocco Beck. Both young players. They're both probably going to make a little bit of mistakes maybe on this stage because it's a stage they haven't been on yet. But I trust Iowa State more. I think Kenny Dillingham's going to have this team lit, ready to go. And it's like I just said, I think they just played their best game of the season against Arizona. Normally, Iowa State, their MO so far this season has been score a lot early and then hold that lead.
Yeah.
You know, they put on 24, I think, early against, they put up 24 against early in the first half against Kansas State and then didn't score for the rest of the game. Kind of the same thing happened with that BYU game. So I'm glad I saw them score and put Arizona down throughout 4 quarters. But yeah, I'm going Arizona State here. I think there's just too much to play for. Honestly, I would take Arizona State to cover as well. That's going to be on my parlay.
Yeah.
That we get to the end. This spread's not big enough for me. I think Arizona State wins by 12 or 14.
Yeah.
But either way, I want to say this about the Big 12. Either way, no matter what the outcome is in this game, if Clemson beats SMU, I think Clemson jumps either one of these champions, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I hit on my review. I said if Iowa State wins, I think they get the higher spot because of that Kansas State win between Clemson and Iowa State. But, I mean, we'll see what the committee does. Right now, Clemson's ranked behind both of these teams. Nick argues that if Clemson beats the number 8, 7, whatever they are, 8 team in the nation, that they deserve a spot above one of these teams. And we'll see what happens. I don't know quite what the playoff committee is going to want to do, but we got to beat SMU first, you know?
Yeah, we do. We absolutely have to beat SMU first.
Absolutely.
But it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. I mean, I think we have a good slate this week for conference championship games. A lot of games that we did not expect to happen. Speaking of the ones we didn't expect to happen, Big Ten. Oregon, Penn State, neutral site. Most surprising thing about this game, get-in price is only like $15. Why can't that be the ACC championship game?
Yeah.
I think the cheapest ticket right now for ACC championship game is like $50.
Yeah.
Which is a crime, in my opinion. But just weird to me that the 1 and 3 team in the country are playing and the get-in price is $15. But nobody expected Penn State to be here. Penn State didn't expect Penn State to be here. But can James Franklin have a legacy game? Penn State cares about this championship.
They do, and you know they also care about the Ohio State games they've all lost in the past. So it doesn't quite matter, in my opinion, if Penn State cares or not. They can care more than Oregon for all I matter.
I think Oregon cares a lot about this game too.
I think Oregon, they also really care. Dan Lanning, Dan Lanning's been waiting on this, and I've been waiting to brag on this guy, Dan Lanning. I had him huge going into this Big Ten championship game. I'm pretty sure I have. In the preseason in August, I said that Oregon is going to go undefeated and win the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And that could happen with a win here, and I could have gotten that right if they knock off Penn State. I kind of wish they were playing Ohio State just for my entertainment purposes. I want to see a little bit more from Ohio State, but just didn't happen that way. So Penn State is going to be playing Oregon. Their favorite 3.5 points, Oregon is.
Yep.
So I mean, this game, I think most people are picking Oregon. My name is most people, and I'm picking Oregon. Let's do it.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people at Penn State here. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of opinions floating around is that Penn State looks different since that Ohio State loss. And this is their definition of different. It is because against the Minnesota, there was multiple fourth downs on that last drive to secure the game that they just went. They didn't think about it. They faked a punt, and then they got multiple fourth downs. But here's my thing. I don't agree with those people. I'm not a Penn State guy. I don't think I'll ever be a Penn State guy. But you still barely beat Minnesota, despite you had to get these fourth downs to beat Minnesota. Like everybody else is looking at it the opposite way than I am. But I'm saying that they got lucky with those fourth downs beating Minnesota, and then they turn around and blow out Maryland, and now everybody thinks they're a good football team because they beat some pitiful Big Ten teams.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. But just speaking on Penn State, what they need to happen for this game, Penn State's defense has to hold Oregon to less than 24 points. They have to. I don't think this Penn State offense is capable of scoring more than 30 on any of these playoff defenses, to be honest with you, especially Oregon's. I don't think it's going to happen. And Penn State, they have to rely on the run game. Their receivers are not good. They haven't been good all year, and Penn State's been known for bad receivers. You got to rely on Nick Singleton and Katron Allen to run the football this game. And if those two can run the football at a good clip, then this game will be close. But I really just want to see Penn State get creative here. You know, we've seen all season with this Tyler Warren stuff, the tight end. They line up everywhere, line up at quarterback. Shoot, they even threw him a touchdown pass after he snapped the ball earlier in this season. But I just want to see him get creative. I don't want to. I know Penn State wants this game, but I don't want them to leave any calls in the playbook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I really want them to open it up. I want to see Bo Burla. I want to see some packages with him running the football at quarterback. But they can't leave stuff in the pocket for this game. I think they need to play for this bye. But that's just my opinion. I'm still going with Oregon here. It's hard to pick against them. They've been the obvious most dominant team in the country all season long. I don't think they slow down here. Dan Lanning wants this championship just as bad as Penn State does in his first year in the Big Ten to kind of put everybody on notice. I mean, he's already put them on notice, but this would just solidify it. He's just going to look at everybody and say, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be here. I'm staying here. Because Oregon, I don't think they're going to drop off either unless their quarterback play in the future just completely dips. Mm-hmm. But, oh, yeah, I'm going Oregon here. Moving on. Got another rematch that we've seen. We've seen a bunch of rematches so far in these conference championship games, and that's what happens when you do away with divisions. But you got UGA and Texas. UGA's defense, Georgia's defense, has fallen off these past couple weeks. They can't really stop the run.
Yep.
You know, Georgia Tech exposed them. UMass exposed them, which is crazy to me that UMass scored more points on Georgia than Clemson did. Kind of embarrassing. And Texas is playing some weird football right now. I mean, they're kind of offense is still inconsistent. They haven't really done anything since Florida. But Texas, they're going to have to try to lean on the run game here. You think they make any noise?
Hey, man, in the preseason, in August, I had Texas beating Georgia in the regular season and Georgia beating Texas in the SEC championship. And we could see the exact opposite. We could, you know, Georgia beat Texas earlier. We could really very much see Texas beating Georgia here in this one. I don't have much faith in Georgia. I think Georgia could be a first-round exit in this college football playoff.
Really?
I'm going to take Texas to beat Georgia in this one. It might be close, but I don't believe in Georgia at all, so I'm going to go Texas.
Yeah, I don't. Here's my thing with Georgia is they're so inconsistent. Mm-hmm. Like, they could show up and get dominated by Ole Miss, or they could show up and score 40 points in one half like they did against Alabama, even though they still lost that game. Or they could completely dominate an offense and let Texas only score 15 points. Like, you have no clue what Georgia team you're going to get. But I think Kirby Smart and the boys woke up wanting to go play Texas earlier in the season at Texas. Texas was ranked number 1 at the time. It was a road game. It's easy for Georgia to wake up and get up and go play for that game. I still think it's just as easy for them to get up and go play this game, honestly. But Georgia needs Carson Beck to play good football. He was not good in Texas the first game despite their win. He threw 3 interceptions, which is crazy that you won by 15 despite your quarterback throwing 3 picks. But they kind of fed off a good field position, the Georgia offense did. And this game was a lot closer the first time than a lot of people realize. It just came down to Texas offense not being able to move the football. But this is going to be a defensive game. I think Texas is the best defense in the country. I mean, I don't know where to go here. JT, you said you don't have much faith in Georgia.
I don't have much faith in Georgia, you know, and their execution. I don't think the quarterback really wants to be there. I'm like Texas. The momentum ball is rolling faster for Texas. I'm going to take Texas. 100%.
How much you think we see of Arch Manning in this game? Saw a little bit of packages with him last week.
A little bit, and you know they might slide Arch Manning in there a little bit. Maybe in the first half. I don't see him going into the second half.
Really?
No, I'm firm in that, but we'll see what happens.
You think this game's gonna come down to the fourth quarter?
I think so, but I think Texas will be winning really the whole game. Maybe.
Really?
Maybe. Yeah. I think they're winning the whole game.
It's so hard for me to overlook that first game. So hard. This is Texas's Super Bowl, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
After that first game, this is the one blemish on their schedule. But I don't know. I think Kirby's gonna have the boys ready to play.
Hope so.
I'm going UGA.
Okay. That's big.
That is big. God, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
I can't believe Texas is favored.
You don't like Texas.
No, dude, I hate Texas. I don't think they're good.
I like, dude, horns up, dude. Hook them.
No.
Come on.
No. Horns down. Moving on. This is the one that I really want to talk about. Clemson. Third opportunity of the year
Yep.
to make the playoff, to control your own destiny.
Yeah.
Playing SMU, a team that was in the American last season.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing great. They went undefeated in the conference their first year as an ACC member. This game, man, this game means a lot to Clemson fans. I want you to talk about this game first.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about, the locker room after the South Carolina game, obviously I wasn't there. I'm not on the team. But I can just sense, players throwing things, players mad, upset about how the game went. South Carolina, they're trying to move out. They're trying to get South Carolina fans to move out of their way for them to go to the locker room in their own house. And so that's huge for this team. That implied that their season was over. They thought that the playoffs were out for them. And then to see them having another chance, I think they're going to come out with a different game plan. I think that's going to give them the motivation to want to execute more and finish plays the way they're designed to be finished. So I think they take care of SMU no problem. I'm really not super nervous for this game right now. However, it is Wednesday, and so we will see how nervous I get later. But I mean, if we don't win this game, we already kind of don't really deserve to be in.
No.
But if we win this game, we're in, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. And so and we'll be in it if we win this game. That's all we have to do. So I think SMU's in this game regardless. Now I know they want this ACC championship, but Clemson's been here before. Dabo's been here before. I'm taking Clemson big in this game against SMU.
You have a score prediction? I have a score prediction. That's why I want you to throw it out there.
How about you talk about the game? I'll think about a prediction while you're talking.
All right, yeah. So obviously Clemson back in the ACC championship game for the first time since 2022. In that 2022 game, Clemson fans were kind of, we knew who Cade Klubnik was, but that was the game we really were introduced to him as he came in relief for DJ Uiagalelei after some pitiful passes to start out the game from Uiagalelei. Klubnik finished the day for almost throwing for 280 yards, a touchdown, running for 30 more, while also a touchdown. He only threw 4 incompletions in that game. So maybe he's got a tie to that Charlotte Stadium, but that game, that performance came after a South Carolina home loss, just like this past season, on a very close game. However, everything was looking up for Clemson with the new thing of Cade Klubnik, a poor Orange Bowl performance, and a 9-4 season last year for Cade's first starting campaign has had many fans upset. And this season, we kind of saw that hope switch after getting demolished by Georgia, went on a 6-game win streak, and then November hit. And November is normally the time where Clemson separates itself. Dabo calls November real football, and that's where championships are won, is in November. However, Clemson went 3-2 in November this season. Just pitiful. However, it's not November anymore. It's a new slate. Clemson's got a new opportunity. They need to retake the ACC, or will Clemson fall short yet again this season, failing to take advantage of the opportunities? I really don't know. Looking at this game, SMU, nobody talks about SMU's defense. SMU has had one of the best defenses in the country as their top 25 in points allowed per game. They have a really good front seven with their D-line and their linebackers. I believe they rank 9th in sacks per game, which is just about on the level that South Carolina was at this season as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game goes. Need the offensive line to perform like they did last week to give Clemson a chance here. SMU, they thrive at stopping the run game. They only allow 100 in rushing yards per game. So Clemson, this is a lot similar to what we saw with South Carolina last week. I think Clemson has got to come in here with an air raid style. Garrett Rice, he coached under Mike Leach. I want to see a Mike Leach offense on Saturday. Just drop back, put the ball in your best player's hands. Dabo won't say it, but I'll say it. Cade Klubnik is your best player. He's playing great football right now. Just drop it back and let him do it. Get your rushing yards off of his scrambles, honestly. I think that's what we should do against South Carolina. The run game wasn't doing anything for us. But SMU's they're a very veteran team. Defensively, I know they returned 8 of their top 10 tacklers from last season. And if you just look across this roster, outside their quarterback, I mean, almost everybody on this team's either a graduate, transfer, or a senior, junior. Like they don't start a lot of underclassmen. These guys are experienced, and they're starting running back. Actually, I don't know if you remember this, JT. When we played Miami last year, that long touchdown run Miami had, Nate Wiggins chased him down, punched the ball out.
Yeah.
But Miami recovered it in the end zone.
Yeah.
That running back who had that run and fumbled is actually SMU starting running back. He was a big-time receiving threat for Miami his past 4 seasons. Not really getting opportunities in the running game, but SMU said they were giving him a chance running the football, and he's accumulated over 1,100 yards as a rusher and 14 touchdowns. We're also catching 29 passes for 300 yards and 3 more tutties. I mean, this team's talented, but on paper they're not talented to Clemson. I think there's a big talent gap on paper for this game. I don't know. I'm taking Clemson here for sure. I'm going Clemson 31-17. What? That's not your prediction.
That was my score prediction in my head. 31-17.
No.
Why in the world did you hype up SMU like that and then have Clemson blow them out? I thought you was about to say like
no, because I have to hype them
31-17 was what I was thinking. That's hilarious. I was back and forth between 2. I think this game will be. I don't know if Clemson can put up 31. I don't know about that.
See, the only reason I think Clemson's gonna put up 31 because I was gonna get to it. SMU's secondary is horrible.
Yeah,
like they rank like 90th in the country in passing yards per game. That's what I'm saying. You just gotta drop back and let Cade throw it, man.
That's so funny.
You
said 31. I was like, no way, he's gonna do it. And he said 17. I'm like, bro, no freaking way, dude.
I think Clemson makes a statement here. I think Clemson could blow them out of the water.
I do too. I think they're going to want it more.
Happen.
I think Clemson's going to want this game more. I think Dabo's going to want it more.
Dabo's been here.
He's been here. SMU's been as an American last year.
They haven't been here.
You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's going to be Clemson fans in the stadium.
Dude, should I change my score prediction or should I just keep it? I mean,
just keep it.
I'm going to keep it. I was also wondering if I don't know. I think I have faith in Clemson's defense.
You got to play Sammy Brown.
Got to play Sammy Brown. You know, I'm gonna keep my score prediction 31-17. That's hilarious.
I like that prediction.
That you just blurted that out because you saw my hands was on my head. I was like, what in the world?
Yeah. Just some keys to this game. Like I said, I didn't mention on this, but SMU they love to run the football.
Yeah.
The quarterback's a dual threat guy, not necessarily like dual threat like Lenore's Sellers. Not as big bodied, not going to break tackles like Lenore's has. But Clemson's given up over 265 rushing yards in their past 2 games. Even though one of them was against the Citadel, just very disappointing to see there. Mm-hmm. But SMU, they're going to try to run the football to establish the line of scrimmage here. And I think a way to stop that is to sit in that 4-3 linebacker formation with Sammy Brown as your Mike linebacker in the middle. Clemson's defense was kind of doing fine with Sammy out there against South Carolina. We hit on this in the review, and then he takes him out for some unknown reason that I would like to have some choice words with Wes Godwin about. But just weird to me. But Clemson's got to stop the run in this game to be able to control it. If SMU can run the football, this game it's gonna be a close one. It's gonna come down to the wire because it's just hard to win a game when you can't stop the run. And another one, I've been saying this the whole time, air raid, throw that rock. I mean, Cade's been fantastic all year. I mean, the Tigers obviously have a running back problem in these past couple of weeks, and even with Phil Moff out there, who many of us thought was going to be a workhorse back throughout this entire season, but clearly something's wrong with him. He's not the same guy. You got to put it in Cade's hands, and Cade's going for his second MVP in Charlotte. Would be the second Clemson player to do that, tying Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. It's just a good feat for him, and it's like I said, there's a talent gap here. Clemson's got the 5th most talented roster on paper, according to 24/7 Sports. SMU's 25, which is higher than I expected, most likely because of the transfers they got. They got a lot of transfers from Miami, but I even said this in the South Carolina game for Clemson to out-talent them because Clemson's more talented than South Carolina is. I had the receivers needed to catch 50-50 balls, and we saw them catch those 50-50 balls against South Carolina despite the loss. I think we need this again. D-line's got to play to that standard that we know they can play at. We saw them get that pressure against South Carolina. This is a better front for SMU. They have a better O-line, but they still need to create that type of pressure. But they got to finish, man. If they just finish against South Carolina, we'd be sitting here with all different thought, probably saying, oh, man, why do we have to make the ACC? Because we'd be in the playoff right now.
Right.
So you don't know, but we got to finish. Clemson's got to, it's like I said, I mean, this season's kind of been characterized by not finishing opportunities. Got to finish here. And my Tiger to watch, obviously, it's not hard to predict. Sammy Brown, he's been such a difference maker for this team all season long, despite his limited playing time. But we'll see what the Tigers do. They're battling some injuries still. Troy Stellato has hit the portal.
Yep.
Unfortunately, broke my heart. I love Stellato, but I wish him the best. Didn't see much room for him to stay and grow here, honestly, past just like a fourth or fifth option. But Clemson might be returning. Leading receiver from last year, Tyler Brown, for this game. He is redshirted this season, but now that we are in the postseason, it does not matter. He can play as many games as he wants. However, defensively, R.J. Mickens, our starting safety and probably our best tackler in the secondary, was hurt on that last play, the last actual offensive play that South Carolina ran. So with R.J. out, it's going to be interesting to see how how Clemson fixes that scenario, see how much nickel they run, if they want to throw that extra DB out. But I think this is just another excuse to play Sammy the entire game, just to have that extra linebacker out so you don't have to put another DB out there. But expect Kylan Griffin to fill in his role, maybe some Tyler Venables. I don't want to see Tyler Venables out there, but you probably will. And freshman Ricardo Jones is going to get some opportunities on Saturday to make his name known. I mean, look for him to make a big play. I think he's got 2 picks on the year maybe. So look for him maybe to get a good snag. But we'll see what Clemson can do. I mean, they're healthier than they've been in the past 4 weeks, but we'll just see here. It's going to come down to the O-line.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. But, yeah, I'm going Clemson 31-17.
I think we both are, dude.
Yeah.
We got big expectations, big hopes for this game. We're excited to see how it pans out.
You got to take advantage, man. Have to. This is going to be a fun week, conference championship week. Like I said, it's going to decide a lot of the seeding for the playoff. If you want to hear a lot of our thoughts on the playoff, go listen to the review from last week. We talked about the playoff rankings, gave our predictions for the final rankings. I just want to see, I want to see my comeback on JT this week. I picked a lot of games. I think I picked 4 games different from you. But before we get out of here, I want to go to our parlays for the week. JT, you want to start us off?
Let's hit it. So, we're only doing conference championships.
Yep.
So that's new.
No FCS either. No FCS.
No FCS. Just FBS. But first off, starting off, Nick, I know you'll have this in there too, but I've got Clemson money line against SMU.
Oh, yeah.
They're not favored, so that's free money. If you guys want free money, bet on Clemson. You will get free money. So I'm going to take Clemson in the money line right there. Another game that I want to discuss is I think that Marshall covers against Louisiana.
What's that spread?
They're 5.5 point underdogs. Marshall is.
Yep.
I'm taking Marshall to cover against Louisiana. Pretty confident with what I think with that.
I like that pick. Marshall plays a lot of close games.
They do, and
even in their losses.
It's very, very true. And so I'm like pretty high on Marshall. I actually picked Marshall to beat Louisiana earlier in this episode, but I don't know if I'd bet money that they'd do that. I would really just bet money that they'd cover. And for my third and final bet, I'm gonna go with the Arizona State, Iowa State. I've got Arizona State money line. They're favored, but I don't think Iowa State will pull this one out. Arizona State's on fire. They're hot. And I've got Arizona State in this one.
Yeah, I like those picks. Like a little 3 legs.
Three legs, dude.
Doesn't hurt anybody. Little 3 legs. I mean, just a little something. I got a little 5 leg here.
Okay.
Starting it out, obviously, gone Clemson money line. Must win game for Dabo Swinney and company, like we hit on. This is going to determine the future of Clemson, honestly. Been struggling in recruiting recently. Got to get in the playoff, man. Have to get in the playoff. Then I'm going Oregon, -3 against Penn State. I don't think this game's going to be close. I would play it down to 2.5 if I was a smart actual bettor. But going to Oregon -3. I'm going to Arizona State -2 against Iowa State. Iowa State's frauds, man. The only thing that concerns me with that bet is the Big 12 is always just like a coin flip of what happens in the Big 12. So it's not a great bet, but Iowa State's on a roll here. Then I'm going UNLV money line.
Come on, that's spicy.
I have to, man.
Spicy.
I think UNLV, they played a great game against Boise earlier in the season. I think they're going to play another good one here. Hajj Malik Williams going to lead them to a victory, doing it through the air and on the ground. And to finish it out, my 5-leg here, Georgia money line.
Okay, interesting.
I have 3 underdogs.
Yeah. You might be a millionaire after this one, dude. If you go your way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody knows Fliff, but I put 4 coins on it, or 4,000 coins on it to make 150,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So plus 3,600 odds on that one.
Yeah.
Right there. I'll put actual money on that too.
Yeah.
I actually think that might happen. Conference Championship week's funky. Always is. College football has been straight chaos this year.
Yep.
It's been so fun.
It's been a ride.
I wish me and JT started this earlier.
Yeah.
But for these, what is this, week 6 for us maybe?
I think so. Something like that.
Yeah, for these 6 weeks, it's been great, man.
It's been lit.
It's been so fun talking about it. We still have a long way to go. We got bowl games.
Yep.
Got college football playoff games. And basketball season's heating up.
Yep.
In Clemson, South Carolina. If you want more information about Clemson and SMU, specifically for this game coming out, and Tiger basketball, we're going to be ranked probably in the top 18 this week.
Hopefully.
Maybe it should be top 15.
It comes out on Monday?
Tuesdays, I think.
Tuesday?
Yeah. But if you want more in-depth information on that, check out the Walk On blog. That's www.the-walk-on.com. If you want just like score results, and just some easy access information on Clemson sports, check out Clemson.fans on Instagram.
Let's go.
You know, we said this in the last episode. Eric Bakich is following Clemson.fans.
Just follow me today.
So if Eric Bakich is following Clemson.fans, why aren't you?
Heck yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Get on
it. We're going to get back in the lab. I'm going to have fun this Conference Championship week. Clemson's going to the playoff, baby. You heard it here first. JT.
Let's do it. We playoffs down.
Playoffs, baby.
Playoff time, baby. Let's get it.
We'll see y'all next week.
Oh, yeah.